Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So hello and welcome everyone to our group meditation practice today. I hope that your meditation is going well and that you're practicing diligently. When we practice regularly and diligently our meditation, we go deeper into the mind, and even though there may be some disturbances that come up, we actually have the chance to free ourselves from disturbance in being willing to be with that which is disturbing. There's a willingness and a bravery and a fearlessness in daring to encounter the mind. And no matter how much we try to avoid our life or try to make our life materially better, or assure that our relationships go the way we want them to go, everything is impermanent. And you must make your mind your friend. You must understand your mind. And in this way you will understand about the truth of anicca, anatta, dukkha, impermanence, suffering, and no self. We are live streaming today from the Tabarwa Center here in the south of Italy, in Cinquefrande. And I'd like to share with the group some reading and teaching from Sayadaw Ashin Ottamathara, from a collection of his teachings entitled Dhamma Election. So especially as the political season is coming up, and we're dealing with a lot of social politics, interpersonal politics. So this notion of a Dhamma election may be very helpful for us. We'll start with the foreword. Venerable Sayadaw Ashin Ottamathara, founder of Tabarwa Center in Tanlin, has been teaching guided vipassana, insight meditation, since 2002. Sayadaw teaches Dhamma and Vipassana insight meditation in a simple way that allows us to directly experience the nature of reality without any slightest attachment. Sayadaw repeatedly stresses on the importance of right view, right understanding, and mindfulness in our meditation practice, as well as in our daily lives, without which we will not be able to abandon our attachment. Sayadaw encourages us to do various meritorious deeds, charity, limitlessly and completely, in order to have courage and to overcome the fear in doing them limitlessly and keeping precepts, as ethics and virtue is the key foundation behind the Noble Eightfold Path. So this foundation on which the Noble Eightfold Path, the Buddhist path, is walked, is our charity, our doing good deeds, and our morality, keeping precepts, keeping mindfulness. He teaches by example in doing what is necessary to do, guided by right understanding, and then doing only without attachment. Sayadaw's teachings and explanations of Dhamma and Vipassana have progressed over the years, continuously becoming more direct, precise, and complete, more directly to address our complex problems, difficulties, and patiently guides us in the ways to solve them with the aid of Dhamma, meditation, practice of mindfulness, right understanding, detachment, which is non-grasping, doing various meritorious deeds, and keeping precepts. With his repetitive style, Sayadaw emphasizes the importance of right view and right understanding, without which diligent practitioners often go astray, cultivating wrong habits. In fact, Sayadaw's teaching tends to lead us beyond the created truth, that is, beyond concepts and beyond the wrong view of self or ego. He shares with us the ability to detach and not to grasp, compassion and loving kindness, charity and morality. He continuously reminds us that even his teaching is also not to be grasped. Therefore, he offers no fixed method. He is guiding us to understand what we currently misunderstand, because habitually and unknowingly we misunderstand the created truth as being real. We misunderstand that there is a self. We misunderstand the law of cause and effect. We misunderstand that our worldly pleasure and problems are eternal. We misunderstand what we should and should not do to use our lives in the right way. In the practice of detachment, Sayadaw teaches about the truth of the created truth, the meditation practice of mindfulness with right understanding, how to solve our problems with the aid of Dhamma, how to do limitless good deeds, how to detach our endless desire and control our greed, anger, and delusion, all leading to real liberation from endless stress, anxiety, worry, hatred, and problems. This is the middle way, the way of Buddha and the noble ones who follow in his footsteps. Through his teachings, many people, young and old, sick and healthy, rich and poor, are learning to translate ignorance into knowledge, greed into detachment and doing meritorious deeds, hatred into compassion and loving kindness, and self into non-self. Sayadaw remains a well-known name throughout the shores of Myanmar and beyond. Let's take a few moments to abide in our meditation practice. Closing our eyes if they're open. Becoming mindful of the present moment breathing experience. Allowing the body and mind to become more still and concentrated in this present moment experience, this present moment breathing. We will not understand the Dhamma unless we practice. We will not develop insight unless we practice. It is not enough to understand the theory or just to do for ourselves. So when we practice not only for ourselves but for all, practicing meditation for all, following precept for all, doing good deeds for all. Meditation is the good deed most prone to develop insight. And it is also the good deed we don't need to consider about or think about. We can do any place, anywhere, any moment. Meditation is a treasure that we never get tired of. Like a well that cannot be exhausted. And when the delusive thoughts or anxious thoughts, complicated thoughts arise, we use our power, the power generated through doing good deeds, the power generated through practicing mindfulness and following precept, to cut, to finish, to end those unwholesome states of mind. Moment by moment and breath by breath, returning to mindfulness only. Mindfulness without someone to be mindful. Mindfulness is just that present moment awareness, experience of breathing the way that it is right now. Nothing more, nothing less. You can see here the barrier of practice. You can see here the barrier of, if you are serious about it, or you're just stuck in delusive thinking. Dhamma election, teaching of Venerable Sayadaw Ashin Ottamathara, delivered on the 8th of November 2015 at Tabarwa Center in Tanlin, outside Yangon, Myanmar. Wholesome vote and unwholesome, or merit vote and demerit vote. Today is an election day in Myanmar. For all eligible voters, those who wish to cast their vote can go to the voting stations to vote either for their preferred candidate or the party. Though all the religious personnel are prohibited from voting on election day, by doing dana, generosity, observing sila, precepts, and practicing meditation, bhavana, or cultivation, we are also casting wholesome votes and unwholesome votes on a daily basis. In the mundane world, there are various types of professions available for people with different intellects. At a personal level, in order to prevail over unwholesome deeds, we need to refrain from giving full support to mundane endeavors. In order for our merit-making party to be triumph over its opponent, we should strive to do more wholesome deeds, like doing dana, observing sila, and practicing meditation bhavana. We must propagate this victory over to our surroundings, ward, township, city, state, country, world, and the whole universe. At a personal level, we do dana, observe sila, and practice meditation bhavana on top of our mundane responsibilities. At Tabarwa Center, I especially teach and train all the serious meditators to carry out their mundane responsibilities without interrupting their dana, sila, and bhavana duties. You can overcome initial difficulties by doing wholesome deeds repeatedly. Whatever endeavors you undertake, including practicing meditation, always try to do wholesome deeds continuously for everyone. Your actions will become unwholesome if you think of yourself only with egocentric point of view. You cannot avoid the impressions, misunderstandings, gossiping, bickering, accusations, condemnations, arguments, and disputes of others. When made by others, these mistakes will not be so important to you, but they will become seriously unwholesome and tarnish your generosity if you grasp your perception of who said what to me, who has what impression about me, and take others' wrongdoings with an egocentric point of view. These kind of blunders are even happening in meditation centers. So, important point here. You and I and all of us, we cannot avoid the impressions, the misunderstandings, the gossiping, the accusations, the arguments, the disputes, the condemnations of others. This happens naturally. And when these errors or unwholesome deeds are made by others, it's not inherently so important to you. It's not such a big deal. But when you grasp your perception of the egocentric point of view, who said what about me? Who has what impression about me? Then this error becomes seriously unwholesome and will tarnish your mind of generosity, your mind of doing good deeds. Whatever you do with good intention is wholesome. While walking on the path paved by the noble ones and doing wholesome deeds, though you do not need to purposely avoid others' impressions, misunderstandings, gossiping, bickering, accusations, and condemnation, you also do not need to grasp and attach to them. So, if we try to approach it by avoiding those things that make us uncomfortable, by avoiding those things that cause difficulty, we try to find the perfect environment. you are doing unnecessarily. You don't need to avoid certain things. But you also do not need to grasp and attach to them. If you grasp them, the delusions, the bickering, the difficulties of the environment, the social group, wherever you may be, even at a meditation center, if you grasp them, you will create either lobha or dosa or moha. That is, you will create greed, anger, or delusion, and it will be unwholesome. And then you are likely to act from that unwholesomeness. You are likely to do the wrong action, acting with anger, acting with delusion. Thus, when dealing with these situations, strive to experience only, use only, and do only. Other people's wrong words are not your words. Other people's wrong words are not your wrongdoings or unwholesome deeds. Your actions will become unwholesome only when you do wrong things. Your actions will not become virtuous based on others' compliments. Your actions will become wholesome only when you do right things. Your actions will not become virtuous based on others' favorable impressions. Neither will they become your wrongdoing based on others' unfavorable impressions. Your actions will become virtuous only when you do right things. Your actions will not become unwholesome based on others' dislikes. Your actions will become unwholesome only when you do wrong things. Mundane or worldly endeavors must be carried out according to the preference of the public. Thus, the opinion and impression of the public might be important in worldly situations. In contrast, practicing meditation or doing wholesome deeds must be done individually. Thus, it is important for you to take the right action when you are doing good deeds. If you are given a choice, which candidate will you vote for? The wholesome deeds, doing actions of generosity, observing precepts, and practicing meditation, or will you vote for unwholesome deeds? Will you vote for the wholesome deed, doing dana, or for an unwholesome deed? Will you vote for the wholesome deed, observing precepts, or for an unwholesome deed? Will you vote for the wholesome deed, practicing meditation, or for an unwholesome deed? Which candidate will you vote for? Even though these wholesome and unwholesome deeds are your own actions, you still need to cast your vote for either side. The choice is yours. Though by nature we tend to vote for the wrong candidates, we still can amend our wrongs. When you combine all the wrongdoings or the virtuous actions of individual people, individual yogis, or individual monks or nuns, these will become the wrongdoings and virtuous actions of the whole center. At the center level, compete and conquer the unwholesome deeds with the wholesome deeds of following precept, practicing meditation, and developing insight. At the individual level, always try to do wholesome deeds and vote for the merit-making party. We need to work hard for the merit-making party to claim victory at every stage and level, starting from the collective level. Cast your vote. Will we fuel? Will we vote for our egocentric, complicated thinking? Or will we practice concentration on breathing? Through our mindfulness of breathing, through our practice of meditation, bringing stillness and peace to the body and mind. Even though there is turmoil or difficulty or conflict inside the body or inside the mind or outside in the environment, it does not take away your capacity to vote, to practice, to return. Not grasping on the external and using the internal as a tool, the body and mind to use only, to experience only, to do only. Mindfulness of present moment breathing. Merit-making party and lack of merit party, or good party and bad party. There are two main parties in this Dhamma election: the merit-making party and lack of merit party, or the good party and the bad party. We need to unanimously vote for the good party in order to prevail over its opponent. This kind of election that is held regularly is concerned not only with the country, but also with the whole world and the whole universe. Good deeds and bad deeds, justices and injustices are contending for victory in groups, individually, worldwide, and universally. The powerful team can mutually defeat other teams. There will be positive results if the merit-making party is victorious. Otherwise, more votes for the bad or demerit party will bring negative results. Doing dana, observing sila, and practicing meditation are good or wholesome deeds that we should all do consistently. If we do not do those good deeds continuously and diligently, we will instinctively vote for the bad or lack of merit party. If we want to act for the welfare of others, our families, our organizations, our communities, our countries, our world, and our universe, we must choose to do good deeds such as generosity, following precepts, and meditation practice. Besides, we must try to purify our mind and stay calm. Try to purify your mind and stay calm. We must not leave our mind as it is. This means we should not let our mind follow our desire. Otherwise, our mind will become unstable and impure. If we do not do right and beneficial deeds, we will choose spontaneously to do wrong deeds and worthless deeds. Right? So we've got kind of 3 tiers, and unless we are doing the good deeds consistently, unless we're putting forth the real effort, the concerted effort to vote for the merit-making party or the party of doing good deeds, doing actions of generosity, following precepts, following guidelines for living a virtuous life, practicing meditation seriously, then we will naturally or instinctively, we will do the neutral activity, or we will do the negative activity. And when the mind is constantly following its desire, chasing after its desire, I want this, I don't want that, it becomes unstable and it becomes impure. Did you hear anything like this in school? Did you hear anything like this in the society? So it doesn't surprise why people are so unstable, why their minds are so confused, and many example of mental health issues, unnecessary mental health issues. Some things they have a deeper karma or a deeper situation, so they have to go through that. But a lot of mental health issues, anxiety issues, depression issues are unnecessary. But because people are not practicing to do good deeds, they are not practicing to purify the mind, to stabilize the mind, to calm the mind, then the mind is sick. Why wouldn't it be? Just like with the body. If we eat everything that we desire, if we eat the McDonald's food every day, if we eat the Burger King food every day, the Wendy's every day, the candy every day, our body gets sick. Why would the mind be different? If we do not do right and beneficial deeds, we will choose spontaneously to do wrong deeds and worthless deeds. Therefore, it is necessary to have right understanding all the time. That's why we must try to do more actions of generosity, follow precepts, and cultivate our mind in meditation. It is necessary to do good deeds that can be done at any time, anywhere, in any situation. We must try to win over the wrong action of choosing to vote for doing bad deeds. Just practicing meditation once a day is not enough. Whatever we do, we must try to be mindful with right understanding at any time, in any situation. In this way, we must try not to vote for the bad or lack of merit party. We must try not to act with greed, anger, and delusion. Voting for the good or merit-making party one time means being mindful with right understanding and doing good deeds. This kind of voting is not done in vain. It is very meaningful and worthwhile. It is very rewarding, because you will get as much merit as the work you put in. This reward cannot be destroyed. No one can falsify the results of a good deed as they could the results of an election. So, being mindful with right understanding means mindful only, experiencing only. Doing good deeds with right understanding, it means doing only. And that is a doing that recognizes or is aware of, informed by the three marks: impermanence, no self, and suffering, dukkha. So rather than we do good deeds with this complicated thinking about our organization and the world and the past and the future, and we want it to go this way, we don't want it to go that way, we do only, and we do with the informed mind of impermanence. Everything is impermanent all the time, every time. And also when we get ourselves into suffering, this helps us to practice seriously. Even though we suffer, we remember, oh, this is impermanent. Oh, this is not me. This is not mine. This is not I. This is just cause and effect. Cleanest, freest, and fairest election. Do not expect to be good if you are doing bad things. Do not expect to gain merit if you are doing unwholesome deeds. Do not expect to gain demerit if you are doing wholesome deeds. This is the cleanest, the most beneficial, and the fairest wholesome versus unwholesome deeds election. Anyone can cast their votes. Anyone. If you are sick, if you are old, if you are suffering from mental health or physical health, if you are young or old, if you are poor or wealthy, anyone can vote in this election. And according to that vote, there will be a corresponding effect. If you don't take care of your body, it stinks. If you don't take care of your environment or your room, it gets messy. In the same way, if you don't do good deeds, don't expect to feel good. If you do bad deeds, don't expect to feel good and to be good, right? To have a wholesome state of mind, to have brightness. It is not wrong to participate in this important dual-party election. Anyone can run for wholesome versus unwholesome election. It is worthy of participation. This indeed is an election concerning an infinite number of sentient beings residing in this universe. This election involves everyone without any exclusion, not only the yogis, but also the politicians, entrepreneurs, students, children, senior citizens, those who are infirmed, Buddhists, non-Buddhists, free thinkers, multiracial, multi-ethnicity, multi-faith, multicultural, citizens by birth, naturalized citizens, citizens by substitution, and stateless people, regardless of profession, age, health status, race, religion, citizenship. Everyone can get involved in this extraordinary, free and fair election, this Dhamma election. Each and every one of us needs to try their very best to get involved in this election, which has no bias against race, religion, or citizenship, representing an infinite number of sentient beings residing in this universe. We should not abandon the general election of the country, the normal country. At the same time, we also should not grasp it as a real election and hit a dead end. As a human being, we have imperfections. For the general election, we need to be vigilant in choosing the party and candidate who has fewer imperfections, great knowledge, high caliber, and who is willing to serve the masses. Do not stop at politically inspired general elections as a dead end. And this is very, very alive and very true for America and for any country with our elections, right? All this momentum, all this energy behind this political election. Is it going to be Donald Trump or Biden? Is it going to be this person, Aung San Suu Kyi, or General the Tatmadaw, you know, the military government? Who's it going to be? And then at the end, whether we win or we lose, it's a dead end. Now we can't vote. Now we just leave it to be. So don't take this general or politically inspired general election, and it can be about anything, right? Who's leading a meditation center? Who's in charge in the home? Who is your new boss at work? All these kinds of things. You know, maybe you were in the running for it or something. It's not a dead end. Don't take these things as a dead end. You need to continue participating in the wholesome against unwholesome deeds election, where infinite numbers of sentient beings, including the winners, losers, voters, non-voters, monks, nuns, elders, youths, healthy, sick, human beings, celestial beings, supreme beings, can also unanimously participate. As in the general election of Myanmar, your participation in this wholesome against unwholesome deeds election is also compulsory, right? We have to act or we will die. So we have to vote, we have to act, and we need to have an informed vote, and we need to make the right vote. In order for the merit-making party to claim victory in this election, we must, this is how to get the victory. We must always be mindful and do all kinds of good deeds continuously and diligently. Exhaust yourself. Burn the candle out. This is where real power, real progress comes from, when you exhaust yourself in doing good deeds without limitations. So here at the meditation center, I might set my alarm for 3 a.m. and then I'll go downstairs to see if Donald is scrubbing the floors or something like that. Or maybe I'll start to bang pots and pans together as a good deed to invite us all to wake up at 3 a.m. Let's do good deeds. So, but it's individual, right? We cast our own vote, moment by moment. Always be mindful and cast your vote for the merit-making party. You need to understand and accept the fact that ordinary worldlings tend to have unwholesome attitudes, conduct, and verbal actions in the past, at present, and that they may also be committing the same mistakes in the future. The powers of our wholesome deeds must unceasingly triumph over the powers of unwholesome deeds. As a community leader, I lead by example. I do a diversity of good deeds continuously. At the same time, I am also training my disciples, each and every yogi, to follow my merit-making footsteps. The improvement or decline of physical and mental states, success or failure, convenience or inconvenience, All are solely depending on you. And this is not blame, it is more like encouragement to take responsibility. There's no blame in it, especially from Sayadaw. He doesn't blame anyone, doesn't matter how rotten you are, how sick you are, he tried to support you. But it's that pointer to the responsibility you have, the opportunity you have to do good, to change, to transform, to win this election. You must have the right attitude, right perspective, right conduct, and right verbal actions at all times. Always try to make sure that these good qualities and moral virtues are not only for yourself, for your own family, but also for each and every one in the society, as well as the society as a whole. Okay, we can all offer a deep bow to Sayadaw and that wonderful teaching. We have some time and space if anyone would like to ask a question or share about this topic. I don't know, Katerina, would you like to say a little bit about it?
I might.
Yeah?
Just because I was really...
Here, let me give you this.
I just hold it?
You sit down. You just pop into it.
Okay.
You can introduce yourself also.
Well, yeah, I'm Katerina, one of Sayadaw followers, one of probably first foreign followers of Sayadaw, and one of the luckiest ones who had a chance to be able to understand some of his teaching. And his teaching is really precious. And now I had a very good experience of listening to the teaching itself and to comments on it from Bhante, which arose in me some pleasure, because it is so rare to hear somebody like interpreting Sayadaw's teaching or telling whatever we've learned from him, because Tabarwa followers in the Western world are not so many yet, and usually I find myself kind of lonely in this understanding. So I really appreciated to hear the text, direct words of Sayadaw, and then also the commentaries and the understanding of Bhante. This really speaks to me deeply, because whatever Sayadaw teaches, actually, this is not just words, this is not only intellectual. When we start practicing in this way, when we make the effort, then truly it discovers to us what those words mean. And this is why I keep following Sayadaw, although since COVID times I couldn't really find a chance to meet him, but I follow his teaching and him by the practice that I do, literally by doing good deeds and by developing mindfulness and practicing the power of detachment. And this is something that became already incarnated in me, I can say. And although I'm saying in me, but the teaching of Sayadaw teaches us to detach from me and my and mine. And we still use this because we continue to be a part of the society, and this is the means of sharing in between us to understand each other. But the practice that Sayadaw teaches us really helps to understand that there is no I, no mine, and there is no someone and something, and there is only the impermanence of the nature. Yeah, always changing and never expected. And this is why we shouldn't attach, and we should just trust Dhamma. Yeah. This is my take on it.
Tom, would you like to share anything? Okay. Okay, I'll just see if we have any question here. Okay, any question before today in the live stream? Okay, so we'll finish with sharing the merits. So everyone, welcome to repeat after me. May all the merits that we have done till now be dedicated and shared out with all beings. May all beings rejoice and share in our merits. May it be. May it be. May it truly be. Sadhu. 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 Okay, thank you, friends, for being here.